Coffee Pot Conversations.
Bonjour et bienvenue to Coffee Pot Conversations, the only podcast about Paris brought to you by me. So, there's a silver lining. Anyway, what's going on? Well, this is episode 4.7, a November overnight stay in Paris, part 16. Yep, for the past 16 parts, it's been me giving you my trip that took place in November 2024, overnight. 28th to 29th, and that's a start back in season 3. Yeah, it's been a whole long session. There was a gap in the middle where I did 3.10 the best bits, and it just carried on straight after that. So we're nearly there now. This is 4.7, it's got 4.8, 4.9, and that will be that. I promise you, no more overnight stays in Paris, of this part at least. There could be another one, which I'll try and squeeze into one episode, who knows. For those of you just joining me for the first time, welcome. For those of you that have been here since whenever you joined, it wasn't this episode, thank you. Why'd you do it to yourself? Yes, I am very self-deprecating. It's the only way I know how to be. And there we go. So, pretty much now, all that's left for me to do is say I'm going to go to the news, and then there'll be the main conversation, I'll have a conclusion, and a outro, which will be the coming up bits. I'm going to try and do call to action within the talky bit, which you'll see. If you know my style, you know what I've done. And that's it. So now it's just over to Paul with the news. Paul.
Thanks, Paul. As you can see, I'm back at Mocha Pot because I've got a brick which I'm not going to hit on my hand. I've also got a phone in my hand, so I'm not going to hit that on the wall. Just for dirty, smudgy fingerprints. But the reason I've got the phone is because I'm not going with a script. The news has got too flouncy, and it felt like I was trying to be something that I'm not, which is organised. So, cracking on with the news. It was my mum's birthday, so happy birthday, mother. Yep. That's it. Politics. And Nicolas Sarkozy, the first former French president, is going to go to prison. He's 70, and back in 2007, he did some naughties. And as a result, he's off to prison. They found him guilty, long court case, historical, long issues. What is going to happen is I'm going to get a chance to say Colonel Gaddafi in a Parisian podcast. So that, to me, is a winner. Sticking with politics, because it is France prime ministers. So back in September, we had, in fact, I'll strip it back even further than that. Do you remember when I was in the Olympics? After that, Gabriel Attal, the young prime minister, who said he's going to quit, but he's going to stick around till after the Olympics, which he did. Then we had Michel Barnier. He stayed around for 99 days. God bless him. After him was François Bayrou. And he did a bit of a boo-boo, and he's the one that caused all the riots across France because of his reforms. He spotted that there was an issue, and he thought he'd go about fixing it, but the French weren't happy. So he quit. And then Sébastien Lecornu came in on the 9th of September, and he said, let's try and fix it. And then he quit. And that was on the, I think it was the 10th of October. Was his actual resignation date. So he's gone bye-byes, and President Macron has said, come back, and he has. So Sébastien Lecornu is the French Prime Minister once again. What else is happening in the news? We have, so I check my phone because I did make notes, and it was about Fondation opening up. And let's have a quick check, because I'm running out of time, don't really want to edit this. So Fondation Cartier is opening. Now, season 5, I do mention, I believe, about the Old Grand Hôtel de Louvre. I'm not sure where I mentioned it, but I do remember mentioning it. In fact, I've lost 2 or 3 bits preparatory work, so I don't know what's gone on. I really do need to hunt those down. But anyway, the Grand Hôtel de Louvre in Rue de Rivoli is going to be the Fondation Cartier's building, Exposition Générale, which is going to trace 40 years of the Foundation's history, featuring landmark works and archives. So there we go, that's quite exciting. and we've just finished the Montmartre Grape Harvest Festival, the Fête de Vendange de Montmartre. That was between the 8th and 12th of October. Pretty much Montmartre Vineyards opens up, they sell the wine, and that's it. So good old charity event there, big parties and dancing and maybe some wine drinking. I don't know much about wine. I have heard it's not very good, unlike the Nouvelle Beaujolais, which will be coming out in November, just after my trip. But it was there in last year's November overnight stay in Paris, and I did buy another bottle. I'm thinking next time I get to go, I'm going to buy her too, because I've kind of made sure she's not opening this special bottle bought on the week that they released the wine. One last thing, because I'm keeping this news fairly brief, is a little bit of history, and it was on the 6th of October, what year? 6th of October, bear with, I love this game, 6th of October 1889, that the Moulin Rouge opened in Pigalle. So there we go. And my notes say birthing both scandal and the iconography of the Belle Epoque. Maybe season 6 of the Belle Epoque. Who knows? Finally, the 12th of October, which is Sunday just gone for those of you that are watching it now, or 12th of October, which was a while back for those of you catching up. We had the EES. Now, I have sourced the interweb, and I can't find any issues with it. Some, I know I'm referring to France, Paris especially, with Eurostar, but scouring the internet, all my sources, I've not heard of many issues. The EU do have the option of bypassing it for the time being. It's part of their 6-monthly rollout. So if at the beginning it doesn't work, it's too busy, they can go jump straight through. Now, I don't know if they still get the passport stamped or not. I've got a new passport, so I'm looking forward to using that and not having it stamped, because I only ever go to the EU. So thanks. Anyway, that's it for the news.
Coffee Pot Conversations.
Okay, so I've just seen Monoprix over my shoulder, and I've crossed the street, and then in front of me is a church, which is zooming in there. And that is St. Augustine. Now, I know that I've been there, and I do remember mentioning that I've never seen it out of its bits. And also earlier today, you'll remember that I said about Jeanne d'Arc. Anyway, that's the second place that I've seen the statue, just outside. I'll try and shove a photo up. However, opposite that, diagonally, sort of triangulatory. So we've got Monoprix over there. Nope, Monoprix is, over there. And then we have to the right, hiding away, is the church behind the flickery sign. And then we have this place hidden beautifully by everything, which is a place called St. Augustine. And that is where I took Nev for dinner on Boulevard Haussmann. When she came, I met her at Gare du Nord, I believe. Actually, I might be getting my stories confustated. We may have met up at the university or the hotel when we stayed in the 5th. I think that was it. That was the first time that she'd been to Paris with me. Stayed in the 5th, Rue des Écoles, and we went for a walk and a half. And we went from the 5th all the way to Arc de Triomphe, and then down Champs-Élysées. I think we went back up the Champs-Élysées, and then we cut through to Franklin D. Roosevelt. And I think we were getting lost and getting hungry, so cracked a left and then walked somewhere else. Oh, maybe that whole story is wrong. I need to revise my notes. Oh wow, but I do remember at one point we ate there. That was the story. We ate there, and that was the place that I first tried snails. Maybe frog's legs as well. This is a story that I really do need to work out on. But it was definitely that place, that I can guarantee you. And it was definitely with Nev and in Paris. So they're the certainties. Yeah, so there we go. Anyway, back to Boulevard Haussmann. If you remember right at the beginning, episode 3.1, when I first started this overnight trip to Paris, I pointed out as I left the Gare du Nord, Terminus Nord, it was a little restaurant place diagonally opposite on the left, and that's where I did stay whilst waiting for Nev's train to come in. I then met her at the station, as you've seen by the photos, went back to the hotel, and then went for a walk past Notre Dame. Coming up is the Expiatory Chapel, a masterpiece of neoclassical architecture built on the site of the former Madeleine Cemetery. On January 21st, 1793, King Louis XVI was guillotined following his trial conducted by the deputies of the National Convention. Marie Antoinette was imprisoned in a conciergerie and then sentenced by the Revolutionary Tribunal after a summary trial. She was guillotined on October 16th, 1793. Both were buried in the Madeleine Cemetery, but each in an individual grave. The bodies were placed in a coffin before being covered with lime. On January 21st, 1815, during the transfer of the bodies of the sovereigns to the Basilica of Saint-Denis, the first stone of the Expiatory Chapel was symbolically laid. Now, were the monarch's remains truly moved, or do they remain here? Now, just through the trees, I doubt you'll be able to make it out. But just through the trees on the left, Pelagonia. Which I did mention on a few of my stories when I was doing that strange thing where I had to post a story a day for a year for my birthday. Long time ago. And opposite that should be Galerie Lafayette. Hopefully. Then I get that break time to rest, smash, before maybe jumping on a metro, save me legs. Need another Monoprix as well, go get biscuits for work. They won't forgive me. And still, sorry Frankie, I haven't got to that boulangerie yet to get the cake. It could be a Paris-Brest, or could be a Milfrey, or could be simple pain au chocolat. Oh, now I'm really hungry. I'm walking slowing down. I'm just going to walk towards the pavement a little bit, see if I can get into focus. The gold adornments. Oh yeah. Have a luxurious building, which if you take that turning just at the end of it and you turn right, you come up to the posh Starbucks, which whilst I could very easily do with a coffee, sit down, do some writing, I'm going to not do it this time. I know, shocking. Mentioned, did I mention in the blog? We definitely mentioned it in, maybe mentioned in the blog, maybe a podcast, I don't remember which, definitely did mention it. Okay, my mistake. Approached you from the wrong way. This is Printemps au Printemps, which is around this nice little shopping centre, the Grand Boulevard. But this is like the competition to Galerie Lafayette, which means it's over to the right, which it isn't, but it's just beyond it, which I think it is. So I'm very, very nearly there. Got to carry on crossing these roads. Oi! Goodbye. Hey. Look at that. JD Sports, who'd have thought, eh? Ugh.
Oui, vraiment aussi. Le problème, c'est que si ça part
Right. Ambassador. Ministère Rocher. Williams Bollingers. Now I do remember on my first blog post, old university assignment, Je suis étranger. I remember posting, not about this set of window displays, but about the ones in Galerie Lafayette. Also remember about being searched in my days. If they're going to search me today, it's going to be quite a while. Oh, look. Can't see through there. Reflections, that's a shame. Won't even try it, but it looks like it's a train. Orient Express, which never's mentioned about. Le Dîner Rentrant. Oh, it is. Oh, bless. What if I try that from an angle? No, you just get reflections at an angle. Not to worry. Right. So this is the other part to Printemps. Connected by a walkway. Here we go. I'll let it when people just dawdle and then you get the next one dawdling at the same time. Flaneur, Flanus. I think the gimbal, the Action 2, the hyperlapse is going to stop shortly. Got a live window, let me just show that. So, I don't know how this works out. That's pretty cool. Hoppa, pardon. So you can't see, but in there, they are taking photos. It's pretty cool. Go book it. And there she is taking a photo, but you can't see it because again reflections. That's lovely. Oh, I just walked past the roasted chestnuts, and you know what? It does smell like roasted chestnuts. Now what I've noticed about Printemps and BHV Marais, so both using marionettes for their window displays. So when we get to Galerie Lafayette, it will be interesting to see if they've done similar. And we're just approaching, across the street. Does smell good. Those chestnuts. So here's Galerie Lafayette, the men's entrance. Over there was the Opera House. Oh, someone passed the crepes. Oh, ho, ho. There's nothing like a little bicycle place over the road that does churros. It's not there. So let's go to Galerie Lafayette and look at the window displays before my batteries run out. Again, interconnecting bridge between the two stores. And we ready? There's one entrance, not taking that one. Hey. Sort of, they're moving. Not sure if I'd class them as marionettes. Can't really make out if it's marionettes or not. They've got things moving. Obviously it's strings rather than robotics. But they're not like human puppets. So I suppose we could let them off with that. But just in a second I'm going to show you Sephora number 5. So we've got an Etam, and that bit with the pink is Sephora. They just need to try and get in the store. Here we go. Bah. Made it. Not even table checked. Woo. As we're just walking past the Yves Saint Laurent concession, as well as the Fendi on the right there, for those of you that are watching, and for those of you listening, we are in Galerie Lafayette, just walking towards the infamous Christmas tree, which you're going to notice on Instagram, well, for last year at least, and by the time this is released, you've only got a couple of weeks left until it's back up, which I may post on my Instagram, at An Englishman in Paris blog, so you can also follow me there, or leave a message on your podcast platform. You can email me, podcast@anenglishmaninparis.blog. Leave a voice note. This is where you drop me a message and I might include it in the next episode. That's voicenotes.anenglishmaninparis.blog. Very, very simple to do. And just make my way to the Christmas tree. Okay, so as always, perfume hall, Christmas tree. As always, as expected, busy. For those of you that are wondering, this is just a quick portrait clip video of the famous Christmas tree. So we're going to try and go all the way up to the top. There is a terrace up here with a view of the city. We're going to see if I can get there. In the meantime, enjoy the views of people in front of me on the escalators. Pardon. Merci. I think I've already done 2 floors. I don't remember. Look, I was going to show you a shot of the viewing gallery then, but I won't. So here's some more escalators. And for those of you listening, let me tell you, these escalators are pretty much the same escalators as you find in any department store. So, great. Oh yeah. Right, off we go. 4th floor. Nearly there. Terrace is one above. Woo. Look, there's some shoes. And look, there's shoes as well. But here's some more shoes. And number 5. Going up. We're going up to 5. I just really don't remember. But here comes Christmas decorations. Oi, so there's decorations. Le terrace. No, so we're going up there shortly. For now, I'm going to have a little walk round and I shall see you soon. So, I'm literally walking through the shop floor, just gone past some luggage on the right hand side, which again I mentioned in my first ever blog post on an Englishman in Paris.blog. That's all the way, that was written actually in 2017, but the blog properly started in 2019. This is the problem when you do video for audio, you've no idea what you're listening to, or what you're watching I should say. So what you are watching or listening to is me simply walking to the toilet. It doesn't sound very exciting. I'm getting past the cafe on the 5th floor of Galeries Lafayette. There's some chocolates on the right hand side. I've gone past the Christmas decorations. There's a load of people. It does change when there's no Christmas decorations. I don't remember what they do, but you know where to go if you want some Christmas decorations. And hopefully this has been 50 seconds. Now I did make a note in my notes to apologise to the listeners yet again. You are losing out because this is the rooftop view from Galeries Lafayette. Yes, it is free, so if you're in Paris on top of Galeries Lafayette, have a look. It is beautiful. I'm not sure what I ever expect to see looking over the rooftops, but you do see some big landmarks. It is impressive. But again, I don't know if what I expected to see is what I saw. But At the minute, I'm just glaring at the Eiffel Tower.
What's that?
Just walking past a huge Paris Je t'aime stenciled cutout. I don't know the best way to put it, but it's just things that you see a lot on Instagram, possibly TikTok, which I don't use. And there's loads of people taking photos and posing by it, which is great, but there are also loads of people surrounding that area. Get up early, get up late, whichever way you wish to do it, just be careful. I'm now just panning down with the view, looking at a Christmas tree in the middle of a roundabout. But what I want you to do is have a listen. You can rewind it by 30 seconds. Just listen to the different voices, different accents, different languages. Let me know what you hear. And if you can translate them for me, even better. So let me know in the comments or email me. Again, accent@anenglishmaninparis.blog. Coming up to the conclusion.
Coffee Pot Conversations.
And that was episode 4.7 of Coffee Pot Conversations, a November overnight stay in Paris, part 16. Slightly unusual as we saw the Parisian rooftops, but also I gave you a task, some homework, if you will. Let me know which accents you think you heard on the rooftop. Email me in accent@anenglishmaninparis.blog, and I'd like to say I'll read out all the responses, but there won't be any. So there we go. But you can also leave me a voice message with an accent. Voice notes .anenglishmaninparis.blog. But again, I suspect I won't have many people calling me in. However, that's the next bit for the coming up, so I'm not going to do that. But what I will do is, I think that's it. I think this is quite a cheap and cheerful episode, thankfully. You can probably tell I'm absolutely thoroughly exhausted. If you've got through to this stage, thank you for sticking through my ramblings for this conclusion. I want to rub my hands through my hair because I'm that tired. So there we go, done it. Yep, Nev should have given me a haircut, but we lost the weekend. Jasper's not well, Roy's on crutches, Nev's exhausted, and I've just got so much going on at the minute. I do need to update the blog. I obviously got to do the podcast, trying to do news. I've got some behind the scenes going on. I've got some books to read, loads of books to read, physical paper books, as well as Kindle books, which I'm actually reading on my phone as well as my Kindle. So much going on. Anyway, it's now time for Jasper's jingle.
Coming up on Coffee Pot Conversations.
We have episode 4.8, November overnight stay in Paris, part 17. Yep, the majority of the people in this coffee shop now know my ad-lib script because I've done this take so many times. So we do have episode 4.8, then 4.9, 4.10, as always, the best bits. I'm not going to do the cut and splicing, I'm just going to talk because there's too much to cut and splice and it is hard work. Anyway, a break for Christmas, so that's December off. Sorry, Frankie, yeah, I did say the C word. And then we go again in January, every second and fourth Tuesday of the month. That's January to May, and then July through to November. It'll be 2027, wowzers, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Some of you may have noticed that I'm talking to this camera, and that's because Roy said that it had a nice coloration. Similar words, he said that to me whilst watching it. but that may have just been the corner that I was sitting in. But I'm now looking at this camera, which is a different camera, and at some point I will talk about my latest podcast production. Previously, I was just doing audio. Now I'm doing, as you can see, video and audio. I need to stop leaning. There we go. That's put me off centre there as well. No green screen, just hands. Anyway, that's enough of that. So pretty much that's it. We just have the rest of this season, and the next season is something exciting for me, not so much for you. So tell me what you want. Is there anything that I can do to help make this more, for you guys? If not, don't worry, I'll just carry on doing what I'm doing and enjoying the journey, because that's exactly what I am doing. I'm enjoying it. I know I'm exhausted, but that's because of real life, not because of podcast life. So that's that. Coming up for me, a trip to November. I keep saying that. A trip to Paris. Yes, I'm not going to retake this because this will be my final take. I've been doing this for 15 minutes now. You guys will see about 2.5 minutes if you're lucky. And the coffee shop will give me a round of applause once we've finished. So now, over to Rory.
Coffee Pot Conversations.